Ahead of the autumn statement tomorrow. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
Mr. Speaker, given that we have the highest burden of taxation in living memory, it is clear that the government's financial difficulties are caused by overspending and not due to under-taxing. Does the Deputy Prime Minister therefore agree, if the government has got enough money to proceed with HS2 at any cost, then it has sufficient money not to increase taxes? If, however, it has so little money it has to increase taxes, which is a last thing for a Conservative government to do, then it doesn't have sufficient money for HS2. Yeah. So can I gently urge the Deputy Prime Minister not to ask Conservative MPs to support any tax rises unless and until this unnecessary vanity project is scrapped? Because I, for one, won't support them.
Right, strong stuff, but I suspect echoing what a lot of people are thinking right now. When you're about to see your tax bill go through the roof, cost of living crisis, I mean, take your pick, frankly, we're all going to be skint before you know it. Jeremy Hunt's going to announce his autumn statement tomorrow, which is what Dominic Raab urged our good friend Esther McVey to wait for. Well, actually, frankly, we all know it's not going to be great news for the taxpayer, is it? Actually, should we be reining it in a little bit? Esther McVey joins me now. Thank you very much, Esther. And this is, I think, something that's going to chime with a lot of our viewers and a lot of our listeners, which is that, OK, it's one thing, you know, we have to accept that there's a cost of living crisis and maybe we have to tighten our belt somewhat, but why doesn't the government tighten its belt with some of its spending?
And that's exactly what I was saying, you know, got to prioritise the spend. And as I clearly said, you're not in financial difficulties, Conservative Party, because you're under-taxing. We've got the highest tax burden in living memory. You know, what you're doing is you're overspending, and that's what you've got to look at. And something like High Speed 2 is something you need to look at. Lots of people call it a white elephant. It's ballooned in price from 37 billion to above 150 billion, on and on and on. And I did say, if you've got an open-ended bill for this, then surely you need to sort that out before you go to the hard-pressed public and ask them for more money. All kinds of taxes we've been reading about, all taxes going up, stealth taxes, inheritance tax, personal tax, VAT tax, council tax.
Yeah, exactly. And your constituency, Tatton, yes. Now, it's relatively affluent. Every constituency's got its variety of incomes. Of course it has. But I happen to know it quite well. I was brought up there, right? But there's that kind of squishy middle class in there. So there's a lot of people in that area. And they are potentially people who stand to be clobbered, if we believe what we read about Jeremy Hunt's autumn statement. And I think they're going to find that quite hard to take. Are you concerned that with the Conservatives potentially turning to tax instead of growth, that's going to have a negative effect, not just for someone like you, but for Conservative MPs in general, I suppose?
Yeah, across the board. And what do people want? They want things to work well in their own area. And at the moment, transport isn't working. We don't have local transport. And if you look at the latest report from Andrew Gilligan, who was the transport advisor in number 10 under Boris, he's saying this will suck money out of all local transport. He's saying it isn't a levelling up project at all. And it is a waste of money, which they're just continuing with.
I'm not trying to drag you into too much controversy here, but...
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you actually make of Jeremy Hunt as a bloke?
Now, I've got a lot of time for Jeremy Hunt. I mean, you might recall when he was standing as leader, I said I would support him, and I'll tell you for why, and this is the key bit. I said we have to prove as a government that we've got all our ministers working together, and the important thing is that you're delivering for the country. It's not about you, it's delivering. So if right and left of the party, Brexit, Remain, lockdown, anti-lockdown, so if we could come together, and me and Jeremy are the opposite ends of the party, that would be delivering for the country. We'd be uniting the party. And you haven't got that at the moment. You've got all factions. So do I like him? Is he good? He's always been somebody who's been able to deliver. So you've just got to focus on where we're going. And that prioritisation of spend and value for money is what you should be looking at.
It's fascinating, actually. You reminded me of that. I mean, it feels like so much has happened.
I know.
So much has happened, but I felt a bit thick then for a second. I can't believe I forgot that you, of course,
But we're about prioritising things. What do you need? What don't you need? The intercity travel commuter has changed now. People want reliable, high-speed broadband. They're not travelling as they were between cities. They want local city, but they're not looking at that. So if you look even at passenger numbers, if you look at that it's old technology, and we need reliable broadband, not a one line in one direction. London...
No, well, exactly.
London upwards, we don't need...
No, this is the thing. I think we need you closer to the heart of government, knock a few heads together. So thank you very